Show you the emblem. Show you the keys. And I had a lot of keys, but the keys that this unlocks is really big and huge and beautiful. So if you clicked on this channel, you seen the topic, and I said we're going to talk about manifesting. And I just wanted to show you the keys. I believe in some of my other videos, I know in some of my other videos, you'll see the Maserati that I manifested. I think I show the outside of my home. Well, I'm inside my home. This is the second garage where I built a studio so I could actually record videos at. But I think I show the outside of my home on my Instagram at Too Lovely to Be Forgot. I might give you a tour of the house. I'm a very personal, private person, so I might give you the tour. But I just want to simply talk about. I'm showing you this to talk about what I have been able to accomplish. Some of the things. There's so many things that I've manifested, but some of the things I've been able to manifest. So I want to talk about how I manifested my dream car. I'm driving. It's a Maserati 2018 Ghibli. I've had it for a year now. I'm working on manifesting something else. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I'm working on manifesting next, but I'm very grateful for this manifestation, and it just gave me hope to all the other manifestations, my future manifestations, okay? But I want to just talk about how I manifested this thing, okay? How I manifested this beautiful car, okay? And when I got this car, better believe I did not have, man, I didn't feel like I had Maserati money. I guess God was telling me I had Maserati money. I always wanted a Maserati. I remember test driving this car 2 years prior to buying it, and I went down there with more money than I had the time I purchased it to buy it, but my credit wasn't in good shape, and they wanted so much down. It was just like, I'm not going to give you 8 racks down. At the time, I wasn't ready to give up no 8 racks on no car. I was like, it ain't that serious. I think I kept pushing in my Galant. I was in a Galant that I owned. All the cars that I had before this, I owned. This is the first car I actually got a note on. And let me tell you how I manifested this Maserati. It's so simple. I always said to myself, if I ever get a note on a vehicle, it will be the vehicle that I want. I'm not gonna get a note on a vehicle that it wasn't a car that was what I really, really wanted. And I sacrificed. Like I said, all the other cars. I think I was like in a 2012 Galant. I had so many different cars, Saturns and Thunderbirds and Cadillacs, 2 Cadillacs. I had so many different cars in my day. Nice ones, older ones, classics. But I always wanted a Maserati. That was my dream car. I used to see people driving them. And one time I saw a woman driving one. I was like, how did she do that? And when I seen that woman driving it, I was like, I want that to be me one day. Almost everything that I used to look and say I really wanted, God is so amazing because He gave it to me precisely of what I wanted. All the things I had, all these things that I wanted that was stored up, and God, and I, you don't know this, but a lot of the things that you want, God is already like giving it to you, but you're not in a place where you can receive it. And that was the thing. I had told God all these things that I wanted, but I wasn't in a place that I could receive it. So once I got into a place where I could receive it, God just started giving me my heart's desires. Spirit just started giving me my heart's desires, literally. So I want to talk about how I got to the place where I was able to receive these things that I wanted, and where I'm at now, and how I'm receiving even greater things that I could never even imagine I'm receiving now. And it's nothing but due to these strategies that I'm about to lay out in the forefront. And I'm just going to give you 4 strategies that helps you manifest. If you're a manifester, if you believe in, life and death and the power of the tongue, if you believe in a miracle working God, then this is your message. This message is for you. Like, share, subscribe. I'm about to break it down to the first thing. The first thing that I needed to do when I manifested was, or when I was into my beginning phases of manifestation. And it took me almost, I guess it took me almost maybe 2 years. Like I said, I test drove the car 2 years ago, but I was in a manifestation season and I was manifesting other things. God was trying to was manifesting other things for me at the time. And now that I look back on it, he was. But at the time, I jumped into the Maserati test drive and he was putting that on hold for me for when I got ready to receive the Maserati. But so that's the thing, trusting God. At the time, I was getting out of a bad relationship, and I've been the type of person where I never let whatever life throws at me, I never let it affect me. No matter what life threw at me, I never once was like, I'm going to change my perception on life. I was hurt, depressed, down and out, but I always knew God is a God. God is my creator, is my creator. I always believed in him. Never, ever, 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 ever lost faith in God. My relationship with God has been close my whole life. I've had a really close relationship with God. I understand that he sees everything. So there's nothing I never tried to hide from him. Right here, he sees it. He created this. He sees it. He's the all-seeing eye. What am I going to hide anything for? If I mess up, God help me get it together. So what I did first, the first number one thing is trusting God. Trusting in God. And when I say trusting in God, that's like literally you don't know how things are going to unfold, but you trust in God that everything's going to work out for your best. Especially in trying times when you're lacking, you don't have enough money, you struggling, all that good stuff. I've been there in those situations, yada, yada, yada. I never lost trust. I just trusted God. Like, God, I know you love me. I know that you're going to get me through this. Okay? That's what I was. That's what it was. I trust you, God. I trust you, God. So then I took it a step further. I trust you, God. I want to move into a neighborhood that is better than the neighborhood that I'm in. Where I'm at, God, at the time, I was in a neighborhood in Las Vegas that was just trash. It wasn't a good neighborhood to have children, and I'm a single parent, just getting out of a relationship. I'm a single parent, and I've been a single parent before the relationship, but once he was gone, and I thought I needed this person too. Financially, I thought I needed him, so how do I think that I'm going to move into a better neighborhood and I just lost a goddamn income? It wasn't even much of an income because I was paying majority, but it was something so that can help, a little something that he was doing to help. So here I am, wanting to move and upgrade my life. And at the time, I'm working a little job. I'm not making enough money to move out of where I'm at and to move into a better area, but hey, let me tell you what trusting in God to do. I still was like, you know what, I'm going to trust God. I trust that God don't want me in this situation. Let me just start looking for a better situation, something better. So I went looking for something better. And I remember at the time, and this is a key thing that I'm going to say this because later on, I'm going to tie this into something. But at the time when I went to go look for something, I had a friend, or what I considered to be a friend, someone I had known for years, or what I considered at the time to be a friend. Now, in hindsight, I know what friends are, but that wasn't a friend. But at the time, I thought it was a friend. So I asked her, hey, can you come with me to go look at some places? Oh, sure. So we went to go looking for places, and I was looking at the most, nice, luxurious apartments, and she looking at me like, you can't move in there because she's thinking about the person I just broke up with. She's not knowing that I'm really done with him. Or if such and such come here, you guys gonna get kicked out because he argues, he does this and he does that. She was just completely trying to discourage me from moving into a nice situation. Just completely. Oh no, just because this is through her lens. And see, me, I seen it. God showed me like, okay, you gonna listen to what someone else says, or you gonna listen to what you believe? So I heard what she said, and sure, what she said made sense, in a sense from her lens. Okay, yeah, that could be true, yada yada. But deep down inside, I knew what I wanted. So what I did was, we went out looking for apartments that day. I said, you know what? The next time I went by myself. I said I ain't going with her again. She was had some negative energy. She didn't want to see me upgrading my life. She kept trying to discourage me. And this is supposed to be my friend, and I'm really thinking this is a friend. So I went ahead and I went and I said I'm gonna go look for other places. And let me tell you, when I started looking for other places, I didn't know how I was going to afford this place, but I knew I needed another place and I wanted something nice. I went into this place, and as soon as I went in there, the lady was telling me, "Oh, guess what? We have a moving special." Nice ass place, nice ass a community, way better than any places that I ever had lived in. Well, I had it was a way better area that I had lived in, because I had a house in Vegas and I had a condo in Vegas, but they all were not in the greatest of areas. This was in, if you guys are familiar with Vegas, it was in St. Rose Parkway on that side of Vegas. So it was real nice community, just a total different vibe. And I was like, and when we went there, I was looking at the place, and it felt so unknown because it was like another place I never lived in before. So I was nervous. I'm sweating bricks. We looking at the apartment. She asking me in my job how much I'm making. I'm nervous. And anyway, make a long story short, what God has for you is for you. When God opened the door, no man can shut. So the fact that I had enough faith and I had enough trust in God, and I had enough faith just to go apply at places and go look at places without even knowing if I qualified or anything of that nature. That was just me stepping out on faith. Like, I trust God is going to deliver. That's the first thing. But the second thing was stepping out on faith, going to go search to see, what is out there for me. And lo and behold, long story short, I ended up getting this beautiful place. And that was an apartment, and it was a nice ass area. My kids were going to a better school. Things was just better, okay? And that was that moment. When I seen that moment where my trust took me, I just started. I was ready to see what else God could do for me. I was ready to see I was hungry for it after that. I'm like, wait a minute. This whole time I've been selling myself short, all because I didn't trust, all because I didn't take a step further and just have faith to see where something leads me, all because I wanted to listen to what other people thought that was best for me. So the first time I seen that, I forget what everybody else talk about. Let me go within. Listen to my higher self. I started making all kind of changes. My diet got strict. I started eating meat. My diet got, I don't think I might have been eating chicken. I think at that point I just went straight into vegan. Like, all right. Because I had stopped eating red meat and pork for years. I ain't had to eat that in years, like over a decade. So at that time, this was about, I'm talking about 2018-ish, 2019, this is all that happened. So 2018 is when I first did my big, I had other things that God did for me, but this is the one where I just took the initiative and just didn't look back. I knew I was getting into a better place in a better neighborhood regardless, okay? And I didn't know how I was going to make it work, and I got that rent, and when I got there, I got it on the moving special, and I had to make sure I got the rent ready for the next month, and every freaking month, I didn't miss a beat. Every month that rent was paid, and it wasn't hard work at all. I think I needed some more income. I ended up getting the extra, whatever other more income I needed, and I made it all work. And okay, so that was when I knew God. That's what I was like. After that, it was on. I was like, I'm testing God. Other times I was manifesting stuff, but it was on accident. It was like believing in God, but it wasn't like how I did it that time. So that point is when I came into my manifestation era. This is 2018. So I manifested that. So I took it a step further. I wanted to move back to California. And that place, it was in Vegas. But Cali was more expensive to live. And I was like, dang, I got to move to Cali. And when I wanted to move there, though, because, oh, my God, I have such of a story, y'all. If I go in and tell y'all my story, y'all going to be like, wow, this lady has a story. But I wanted to move there because I had a love interest, someone that I was, at the time, I'm thinking that they're single, which I later on to find out that they weren't. That's a whole other story, though. But we were together for almost a year. And I wanted to move to California to be closer to him. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move to Cali so I can be closer to you. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea, do it. So I ended up moving to Cali. And it was a blessing in disguise because at first, like I said, I ended up finding out this man was hiding the whole family and all this old extra stuff. I had got myself caught up into something. And then I had when I moved to Cali, I had my sister. My sister was, all my family used to always encourage me to move back to Cali. But as soon as I moved back to Cali, boy, I needed somewhere to stay. I should have dotted my I's and crossed my T's. I should have looked before I leave. But I didn't look before I leave because I'm thinking I got family that I could stay with until I get into a place, which was, I should have never did that because I ended up, it ended up driving a wedge between a lot of my relationships with my family because the people that I expected to have my back, the ones that I was calling, telling them what I was going to do, when I got out there, all of a sudden, they didn't have my back. So it kind of caused me to be homeless with my kids for a minute. And then COVID happened. This all happened like right before COVID. So then when I moved out there, COVID happened. I'm homeless with the kids. My family members not letting me stay with them because they had no good reason. I didn't do nothing wrong to nobody, hurt nobody. They just was in they whatever moves, just like I'm trying to rain on your parade, And that's what happens when you try to take steps forward. God will start, people will start coming in to lower your energy. Like, soon as you think you're on top of something, I'm going to let you know right now, mark my words, it's going to be a test. Soon as you high vibe, making moves, in contact with God, connected to your higher self, here come the enemy. Somebody going to come in to try to dim your light. Somebody going to come in to try to sweep the rug on your foot. Somebody's going to come in. You need to be prepared. So this is a message for somebody. Be prepared. When you start raising your vibrations, be prepared for the drawback. There's going to be drawbacks around you. It's just a test. So you're going to have to stand firm in your beliefs during that test. And after that, God's going to pour it all on you. This is how it works. So I did that. So then at that point, I was homeless with the kids and I had to make something shake. I had to do something. So I ended up getting into a place. God seen my struggle. I might have been homeless. I had to live with my brother for like 2 months. My sister has lived there for a month. My dad had my kids for like a total of 3 months. I think by the 4th month, I actually had a place. I had a house. And when made that was great until the owner wanted to sell the house. And it was weird. So I had to get out of that house and then I had to manifest something else quick. So at that point, I seen God moving for me. Shoot, I seen some manifestation. I had some struggles, but I also seen God working in my favor. So I was like, I'm about to use this to my advantage. I know my God. I just got to stand strong in my faith. So at the time where the owner was talking about he was going to sell the house that I had, mind you, right before COVID, he wasn't selling that house. But as soon as COVID hit, all hell was breaking loose, and the owner was like, I got to sell this house, yada yada yada. He ended up selling the house. I was living in the house, and the new owner ended up letting me live in there until my lease was up, and then I was able to move forward, which was a blessing. Because when they sold the house, I thought I was going to have to go. And the lady, she did not want to let me stay there, but she felt so bad. It was around Christmas time. But after a while, I wanted to stay there longer. But after a while, she was like, I'm homeless now. She was telling me she was homeless. She was like, I'm sleeping in someone's garage waiting for y'all to move out. So I had to move. But before that, I did a lot of steps. In the time that he was telling me that I had to move, I was getting inclinations. I was remembering back on what that girl did a while ago, and when she said, or a year ago at that point, or a year or two ago at that point, when she was saying, you can't live here. And I looked at my family members, and I looked how they did me, and I said, you know what, it's only me and God. It's only me and God. I don't got nobody that's going to be there for us, or there's no one to rely on or count on. I only can count on God. So I started just eliminating every freaking distraction. I stopped Friends, I had no friends. I didn't want any friends. All the other people that I thought were my friends, I started to look back on it and I seen how I outgrew those relationships. I outgrew those relationships with those people. When I met those people, I was one way. I've grown up to be a whole totally different person. I grew out of the person that I was when I initially met these friends. So I had to let them all go. Wasn't no one worth holding on to, because none of them had the new mindset that I had. And I knew in order for me to prepare forward, I needed to get rid of any person that was going to mess up my mindset, because what I was trying to do was going to take a lot of belief. And I didn't need anyone in my ear that didn't comprehend what I was talking about. So if that meant getting rid of these people that I loved and that were my friends, and that, friends at some point, what was going to be more important? My destiny and my plan and what my dreams being fulfilled, or holding on to these lackluster relationships that I've already outgrown? I let them go. It was hard. It was hard dodging calls, blocking people, and and moving on and not looking back. And it was hard, wanting to hang out and not having no one to hang out with, and maybe having to go out to eat by myself or do this and do that. It was hard, but everything I kept thinking about was, what's more important? What God has for you, or that? Or what's more important? Your dreams being fulfilled, or that? So I ended up having to move, and when I moved, I knew, when I moved from that house, I knew, I didn't know where I was going to go, what I was going to do, but I knew God had something else for me. I just kept trusting in God. And I said, well, what can I do in the meantime, in between time, until God gets me to where I want to be? So this is like I think I left like right when summer break hit. So my kids were going for the summer. At least my son, I sent my son to his dad's house, but he still ended up coming back to me. My daughter was at her best friend's house, which is my best friend's. This is my old best friend's house anyway. And my son was with his father. My other son was with his father. And I had to make it work. I was sleeping in my car. I didn't want to let nobody know I was sleeping in my car. I didn't want to let nobody know what I was going through, because I felt like if I tell them that, they're going to think it's hopeless for me. They're not going to see what I see. So I can't let no one know my circumstances, okay? So I didn't let nobody know my circumstances. I never told anyone I'm homeless right now. I had to move out of a place. I just slept in my car. My kids was gone. I slept in the car, and when I had the money, I would get a room. I was waiting on some money. That's why I ended up having to sleep in my car. I think at first I had a hotel, but then I was waiting on some money, and it was getting held up and held up. It was like all hell was breaking. It was everything to get me to shake my faith was happening. So when all hell started breaking loose, and the money was slowing up, and I needed to do this, that, and all this old extra stuff, I just remained grounded. I kept pursuing my business. I had a business that I was doing. I kept doing my pop-up shops. I didn't tell nobody I'm sleeping in my car, I'm homeless. I didn't tell nobody nothing, because I didn't need no one to feel sorry for me. I knew God had my back. So I was just like, I just still did everything the same way I would do it, just without a house. And I didn't feel like the need I had to tell anybody this, because I knew God was going to get me out that situation. So I ended up, oh my God, so much stuff happened in that time too. Like I was at a truck driver school, and in the truck driver school, remember I told you I ended up moving to Cali to be with somebody who was already in a relationship, which I didn't know. I didn't know this for a whole year, because we were together for a whole year. He wasn't going home. He was literally spending his time with me and my kids. I didn't even know he was having a whole family. And I fell in love with this person. I fell in love with him. So anyway, the girl he was with ended up finding out about me, and we were at odds. So I still was communicating with him a little bit, because he was definitely making me believe that he was going to leave this woman. So for 1 year I was with him. I didn't know about her. For maybe like 6 to 9 months, he was telling me he was going to leave her. So we're in that phase. And I remember getting into this truck driver school, and guess who enrolled in the truck driver school? She does. And I was struggling. I was trying to get my license, And here she come. And I mean, the week that I was like struggling like on something, here she come. And it just was tampering my spirit. And all of a sudden, I prayed on it, and I came back, and all of a sudden, the girl was gone from the school. I was able to graduate, and right after I graduated, I moved to a beautiful place in California, a suburb, and it was on. It was on from there. After that, I got my shortly after that, maybe like 6-7 months. I had been driving this car, that car that I had for. I had that car for like 2 years, that Galant. And I already remember, I told you my mindset is different. Remember, I told you I'm eating healthy. I've eliminated friends. I've eliminated all the people who work for me. Those are the two things that I did. And I feel like, God was not going to bless me with something because of the people that I had around me. He knew that those people were going to take advantage of me. He knew that those people didn't have my best interests. So if I didn't create any space, I was not going to be allowed to have anything else in, because God's not going to give you something that he knows is going to get choked out, taken away from the greedy people around you who don't have your best interest. Why would he do that? God needs you to get ready for something. So I made space, and I got rid of the friends, and I was working on my credit. I got my credit good, and I was like, okay. And when I moved into this neighborhood, I remind you, I told you, I moved into a suburb now. I'm not living in that house anymore. I was homeless for a minute. Now I'm moving to the suburbs. So where I'm at ain't nothing but Audis and Teslas and Benzes and BMWs. That's it. There's no other cars. So when I was driving around that Galant, I was sticking out, and I'm like, this don't match the territory, God. So I was like, I know I need to get a new car, but I didn't think I was gonna get a new car that soon. I wasn't thinking about getting a new car, but I had seen online or kept hearing this commercial, and I said, well, let me see about this place. LA City Cars. Shout out to LA City Cars. If you know about them, shout out to LA City Cars. So I went online and I filled out the thing on LA City Cars, and I did it for a Range Rover. And they approved me because I told you my credit is good at this point. I had worked on fixing my credit. I got rid of the CPNs. I was using CPNs for a minute. I got rid of all that stuff, and I started just fixing my credit. And my credit, they ran it. They was like, oh, you approved. Come down on this day. I set a date to come down. And I kid you not, I had told him over the phone, hey, I think you guys got a Maserati there I like. He's like, all right, come on down. So I get there, I see a white Maserati. I'm like, guys, and I look over there, it's a black Maserati, got my name written all over it. And I got my youngest son with me, my youngest son, Haru, that's my rider right there. He's 8, my youngest is 8, my oldest is 17, my other one is 15. So I got my 8-year-old with me, and we at the dealership, and I got my Galant, and I got maybe like $3K down. I ain't got a lot down. I even think I had $3K. I think I told him that's what I wanted to put down. I probably only had $1,000. I don't remember. I didn't have much money. I didn't have much money, but I was like, I want this car. I knew I needed a new car. Not this day, but you're gonna have me sticking out. And I'm not trying to be materialistic, but it's just like, at this point, I never even had a car note. So I wanted something nice. I deserved it. I've been through the mud, the ringer. So I ended up telling the guy what car I wanted. And here he go. He like, everybody's been trying to get foreigns. No one's getting approved for those cars. That way, he wanted me to get me the car. But he was like, you know what? I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what kind of spirit. He must have felt my spirit. But he told his people, get the car out. Move the car out. He told her, because the car was in the garage. He was like, move the car out. He started telling the people, hey, go get that car. Put that car out. Go get it out. I ain't signed no paperwork. I ain't did nothing. But I'm just telling him what I want. We ain't sat down, talk numbers, jobs, what I'm making, nothing. He like, that's what you want? You finna get to what you want today. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, he moving fast. I ain't even got the whole down payment. I said I got $3K. I ain't really got $3K. What I'm gonna do? And I promise you, he moved that car out the goddamn way, baby. I ain't gave him no money, nothing. He already started arranging everything for me to take this car home. And I ended up giving him like, I think 1,000, maybe 1,500. No, I think I could give him 1,000. I was like, I could bring you 5 in a week. I came back with like $500 more. And then I told him, I had the next 1,500 in 3 weeks. I said, whatever date I said, I was bluffing like a mug. I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna run all that. I had everything at a tight budget. Like, this money goes here, this money goes here. So this extra 3 racks that I told him that I'm about to give him, or 2 racks, whatever it was, I really didn't know. Boy, let me tell you, when you put God to the test. So whatever date it was, whatever deadline I had that money. That day, that time, I forgot how I got it, where it came from, but it was there. I went back and took that money to that car dealership, and they gave me the rest of everything, because I think at first they didn't give me like my paperwork on it. At first they just gave me the keys, but once I came back with the initial $1,500 or gave them the $3,000 down, and I traded in the car that I had, then they gave me my keys. And it's been on ever since. I've been in my dream car, just like that. Just because I feel like I created the space for that. I created the space, and I was bold enough to act on something, even though I didn't know when, where, and why, and how. I was bold enough to act on it. And I feel like, and I know, not I feel, but I know, when we act on what we want and we trust in God and we don't have no distractions, nothing getting in the way, you're not in no toxic relationship with people, with a man, with friends, family members. Even my mom, she didn't, I was so nervous. I couldn't even tell my mom the car that I got, because I figured she was going to be like, you can't afford that car. I remember I told my best friend at the time about the car. You know what she told me? Okay, girl, you got that car, but you need to go take that car back. I know that you got it, but you still got time to take that car. Take that car back, because you cannot drive that car. You cannot, like, basically, she don't know how much money I'm making. She don't know anything, but she figured in her mind that I don't deserve to have this car. Lo and behold, I didn't have this car. It's going on 2 years now. But if I would have listened to them, I would have been out my whole experience. So that was like, she was like the last friend that I had to eliminate too. Once she made that statement, that was the last time I knew that that was my only friend I had left, and I knew that she had to go too. But when I did that, and then, I want to tell y'all this part too. My son wanted to go to, the reason why I was in this I'm in the suburb of Cali, because my son wanted to go to a Division I high school to play basketball. So remind you, I'm homeless now, and the school year is about to start. Because remember I said I had to move out of one place before the school year. The school year is about to start, and my son wants to move in one of the most expensive cities in California. And how was I going to do all this? And better believe, I had moved into the most expensive place in California, and I had me a brand new ass car. Okay? All because of trust and faith. And I remember I was looking for places, and I couldn't find it. And I'm like, how am I going to move here? It was so impossible. I never understood how I was going to do it. But I know my son really wanted this, and I wanted to do this for my kids. I know I needed a new car, and I've been wanting it, and I just did it. I didn't care about the particulars. I didn't care about, oh my God, how is this going to happen? How is that going to happen? I just acted out on faith, and I did it. Okay? And that's what I want to tell you guys, that a lot of people that you see that has a lot, they're just like you and I. The difference between you and them is their faith. Okay, so let me name all the things for you guys. I said the story, and let me point out the things in the story that I did in order to manifest this stuff, to make it more plain. I had faith. I trusted in God. I knew what God could do. I believe in a miracle God. I knew God was powerful, so I trusted in Him. I trusted God. I know you can move mountains, God. But trust wasn't enough, because just knowing you could do something, I know I could go get some food from the grocery store. But we know food is at the grocery store. I know God is a moving God. I can trust Him. But I need to actually physically get in the car to get to the grocery store. So I had to physically step out on faith, go move into this neighborhood and into a suburb. I had to go to the dealership, apply, do this. I had to make the first move. That's where the faith come in. Like, okay, even though everyone else around me thinks this is impossible, I know I have trust in God and I have faith that this is possible. So I acted on that faith. So those are the trust in God, faith. The other thing is discipline. I had to sacrifice friendships. I had to sacrifice or be disciplined to what was coming out of my mouth. I had to change the way I spoke. A lot of things that I had to get out of my words, I had to get out my vocabulary because it was speaking death over my life. So I had to start saying things like I had to switch my wordplay up. All the words that I say has to benefit my future self. If anything that I said would degrade me, would make me feel or make me less than, if I would refer to myself as less than just by conversation, like bitch. Like, you know, when you have a friend, you like bitch this, nigga that, I had to change all that. I started calling people queens. You hear me, I be like queen. If somebody don't like to be called queen, I'll say sis. You ain't gonna hear me like saying be this and be that, like, or how I refer to myself, like I'll be like, oh, that's stupid, or that's dumb. Like I'm telling myself that's dumb. I don't refer to myself as dumb. If anyone else tried to refer to me as something, I correct them. Oh no, that's not me. So that was one thing that I had to do, was really work on my speaking. Another key thing that I did, which I feel like helped tremendously, was what I listened to. I had to stop listening to garbage music that degraded women, music that only focused on sex, music that only focused on things that weren't going to catapult me forward. I had to get rid of it. I only need to listen to about music of love. Only need to listen to lyrics that are motivating, music that are positive, uplifting. It could be a rap song, but what are they saying in the lyrics? If they talking about spending a man's cash and getting their booty done and all that ain't fitting my mission. So I was very careful on the things that I listened to. And another thing that I had to do was that was a discipline. I said the faith, I said the trust, discipline. Oh, and the key thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this, and I want y'all to like, share, subscribe if y'all was feeling this video, if you guys can relate, if you're gonna take some of these tips, let me know. But the key thing that I did was choices. I made sure that all the choices, that I was very careful on choices. Looking back on the choices that I had made previously, I started to understand that life goes better when I put intention on making good decisions. Because all my choices have created my reality. So if I keep in mind that all the choices that I've done have created my reality, I'm going to make sure that every choice that I make is going to be a benefit to me and my children. Every single choice that I make. So I just started making better decisions. No, I don't want to talk to no man. Like, I had let go of wanting to be with a man and desiring to be in a relationship because I seen how I got fooled in the past. And even when I wasn't even if it wasn't a man who was hiding a family, in the past I was fooled just by trying to help someone move in be with a man that didn't have anything, or moving together and trying to make it work, and that struggle broke love. I went through that and I didn't want that. So dating and not letting people come to my house, or not doing things first I wasn't dating, but eventually I maybe started to date, but I did not, it was so not serious, okay? It was like very casual way of dating or whatever. But I did just a lot of self-discipline, and a lot of choices. Like, okay, well, I want to open my own business, so I need to do all the right things to open this business. Just really put my focus into my businesses and put my focus into all the things that were good for me, and not focusing at all on the things that were not for me. I had to make these choices. Because if I made a choice to go hang out with a friend, an old friend that was negative, I'm pushing myself backwards. You understand? Now I'm subject to people who look at me as the older version of me that's going to keep me stuck in my past. Can't hang out with you. You don't understand this new me. You don't get this. You're not incorporating the things that I'm incorporating in my life. I can't be your friend. I can't hang out with you. You can't get in the Maserati with me and go to the club because you a hater. You gonna talk about me and this and that and da 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 da. I had to really eliminate people, okay? And just to give space for good people to come in. And then I had to stop being so nice. I remember I had somebody come stay with me, and they were yes, I'm recording mine for my YouTube channel.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes. When I'm done, I'll give it to you. Bye. Shut the door. Thanks. Yes, that's my son bugging me, and he wants to play with my. He breaks devices, so no one in the house wants to let him see their device after he's broken his. Anyone? It's just me and my kids in here, but anyway. So sorry for the interruption. I probably won't edit that out, but yes. So I had to eliminate distractions, eliminate people. Even being nice and letting someone stay with me. I let someone stay with me, and they said they were gonna pay for this and pay for that, and they ended up, seeing that I had money, seeing I had everything taken care of, ended up leaving me high and dry. Like, oh well, you got it. You don't really need this from me. I'm homeless, and I'm coming to stay with you, so I'm just gonna leave and go pillow post on the next person when rent is due because, whatever reasons. And for me, like, it wasn't the fact that if they couldn't afford it, they should have said that. Don't lead me on and say I'm going to pay for X, Y, and Z, and then I'm going out my way to pay for things for you and feed you and your son and do all this stuff. And lo and behold, you were just going to get MIA as soon as you got some money. I would have, not as been so kind or whatever. But God, anytime any person has ever crossed me, which has been people who's crossed me since then just a little bit. I had a little hiccups. But God is just like, shaping me and showing me what, how people are and how to guard myself and protect myself and not put myself in harm's way, and to really pay attention to those red flags and move off of those, make choices based off of that. So that's another story though. But I want to say that, yeah, I manifested that, and you can manifest, and anybody can manifest. It's just about getting rid of an old belief system. You got to get rid of that old belief system and really trust God and really have faith. And I promise you, I challenge you right now. You can either take one. I have two challenges. You take one or the other, or both. I have a 24-hour challenge, and the 24-hour challenge is this. For 24 hours, you focus on what you want to manifest. You make a request to the universe of what you want to manifest. Obviously, it has to be something that is foreseeable in 24 hours. You can't be asking God to send you up. Well, I ain't gonna say. You could ask God whatever you want, but if you really want to see it work, this is just a tester, okay? So do something that you can actually see come together, and really believe in God that it can come together, and have enough faith to do something to make it come together, but not too much. You want to sow a seed. It's like when you manifest, you want to sow a seed, but you don't want to overwater the seed. Like, say you had a plant and you sowed a seed. Are you going to water it all day long and keep picking at it to see if it grows, and uproot it to see the seeds is moving dirt around? Hey, is the seed sprouting? Are you going to do all that? No, because if you do that, you're going to kill the plant. Same thing with your manifestations. You don't want to overpower your manifestation. You don't want to overdo it. You want to give it just enough water, just enough sun, just enough time to let it set and grow. The same thing with your manifestation. So for 24 people who are going to take a 24-hour challenge, I challenge you in 24 hours to focus on the thing that you want for a little while. Get rid of your distractions. I don't know your story. I don't know what distracts you. You may have a strong support system. You may not have the friends that I have. The friends that I have really did not want to see me do good. They never had my best interest. You may have a strong support system, but I still would encourage you not to tell anyone what you're doing. What is the? It says shout. It says don't shout the world your dreams, but whisper them to your heart. That's Deepak Chopra. Shout out to Deepak Chopra. But meaning everybody doesn't need to know what you're trying to manifest because it's sacred. It's like a baby. Just like if I have a brand new baby, you have a newborn baby. You ever see? Well, some people do this, but majority of us that really care about our children when they first are born, especially if you had a lot of children, you know that them newborn that first to the fourth week, them 1 through 4 weeks, you don't want to even take your baby outside. What could happen? Your baby can get strep, or what is that called, strep? Colic. The baby could get colic. If you take it out too fresh, it could get colic. If you get the picking at your baby head or letting people touch it, it could get not eczema, but what is it when the skin starts not jaundice, but y'all know what it is when the baby's skin starts to peel or get these bumps everywhere and all this stuff. You want to keep that baby covered. It's a brand new baby. You ain't trying to just show the whole world your baby. Same thing with your dreams, your goals, or the seeds that you planted. This is something you keep sacred. Everybody don't need to see what you're talking about. You can show them. As the baby gets older, they're going to be like, oh yeah, they did the baby. Woo, woo, woo. Then they see, they know. Same thing with your dreams. So I encourage you in the 24 hours, don't tell nobody nothing, even if they are your friends. Because the thing about this too, even if it's people who love you, if they think that it's impossible, they're going to gossip. And when people gossip, they're putting energy out there in the universe because they're talking about your dream, your desire. And it could stagnate your manifestation, stifle your manifestation. It could create roadblocks in your manifestation if you telling too many people what you're trying to do, because they're going to be talking about it and it's going to interfere. This is all energy. All this is energy. If you manifesting with energy, you got to clear the energy, clear the path in order to set an intention, in order to bring this manifestation in. So what I've been telling you are the keys. I'm using an example of how I cleared energy up to get this stuff to come into my life. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm a single mother with 3 kids. If I can do it, you can do it. So after you not tell anybody, after you not tell no one about this is a 24-hour challenge. I guarantee you in 24 hours, you mark what I say, comment below after you do this. But you have faith, you trust in God, have faith, actually act out on this thing that you're trying to bring into your life, whether it's a phone call you got to make, something you got to go buy, something you got to do, or some money that you may need, or something. Act out on this thing. I don't know how you're going to, I don't know what it is you're trying to manifest, but act out on it. Have the faith. Take a step forward in it. Okay, well, I need to do this. I'm trying to manifest going out to dinner tonight. All right, let me make a phone call to my friend and my whoever and tell them I want to go out. Like, you got to make, like, taking the first step is making a phone call. What the person says on the other end, don't worry about what they say. You just took the initiative to make the phone call. You put it in the atmosphere. You get what I mean? So it's something like that. I'm giving for a bad analogy, but I think y'all understand. If you hear, you tapped in, you understand. So for the 24 hours, do that. And I guarantee you, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in 24 hours, you're going to have seen some sort of result. Whether you may have manifested it or you will see some sort of sprout of it coming to your reality. But you got to do what I said. Do not tell nobody anything. Oh, and make sure that, I don't know about your outside forces, but I encourage you not to listen to anything that is going to distract you. Like music lyrics that are lower energy. People don't understand the power of music. Music has vibrations. A lot of the music that they play on the radio, if it's glorified, if it's not love songs, if it's rap and it's secular and they're talking about this, that, and the other, it's all low vibe. So you gotta make sure that, or maybe it could be some songs that may uplift you. That maybe the lyrics it may be harming to my lyrics, but maybe they get you in a good mood. Just keep your vibes risen. However you got to keep your vibes risen in that 24 hours. You got to keep your vibes high. Don't listen to no distraction. Don't let no one distract you. And you got to believe. And I'm trying to tell you, I guarantee you, mark my words, in 24 hours, you're going to see that thing happen. Now, my other challenge It's almost just identical to the 24-hour challenge, but this is a 30-day challenge, and baby, this is the one. This is the one that's gonna make you a believer. This is the 24-hour challenge is for the ones who kind of like know already what to do and they're just trying to test it. The 30-day is for y'all non-believers, people who ain't really don't know how to manifest, ain't really just skeptical about it. I'm gonna get rid of all your skepticism. We're gonna get rid of all that right now. For 30 days, change your diet. Change your diet. If you eating all that stuff that's going to lower your vibes, this 30-day challenge may not be for you. But I feel like the first thing I want to tell you is to change your diet in this 30 days. This is about the people who really want something. This ain't for the people who say they want something, but they ain't willing to do nothing to get it. This is for the people who are willing to sacrifice for the things that they want. That they're tired. They tired of being stagnant. They want to level up. This is for my people who want to level up. If you want to level up, for 30 days. Listen to me. Speak life. Don't let nothing out your mouth come against you or come against the things that you're doing. I don't care how upset you get. Change your vocabulary. As soon as you catch yourself doing something, clear your counsel, delete it, and say something else. Proclaim something else over it. 30 days. Be careful what you say. 30 days. Be careful on what you watch. Don't watch nothing where people is horrible. Clicks, people are going to jail, people are getting robbed, people are gossiping, people are murdering. Don't get to watching all that. Watch stuff that's encouraging, or don't watch nothing at all. Watch stuff where you see miracles happen. Watch stuff like Undercover Boss. Watch stuff like supernatural things. Watch stuff where you read books and watch stuff that miracles happen. Get into the habit of being in a supernatural realm where you're in a realm where God just delivers all the time in. Get focused on not what man can do. Stop being focused on what man can do. This is not for the people who lean on what man can do. This is not about man. This is about your spirituality. This is about God. This is about God moving in your favor because you're taking the initiative to trust in him. You've taken the initiative to get rid of friends or not gossip to friends about what you're doing that will stifle what it is that God's going to give you. And a lot of y'all got to break the chains because you don't expect God to do all this stuff and you got leeches around you, people who are going to bring you down, people who are going to just snatch up that what God has for you. God ain't going to give it to you. God's going to block. God's going to delay it because you delayed it because you're stuck on what you want to do and not what's best for you. So want what's best for you. Trust me on this. Want what's best for you. Put the discipline in. Be disciplined. Make the right choices and decisions. Start monitoring what you're listening to. Monitoring what you're eating. Monitoring what you believe. What you become. What you're known to believe. Even if it's how you've been living. If it's every single thing that I get has to be accounted for based off of the hours that I work at my job because that's the income that I have. You only deal with one stream of income and you don't even know how in the world you gonna manifest it, and you ain't even attempt to ask God or thank God for or ask God for something because you are so succumbed to that one stream of income that you got and the budget that you have. You ain't even looking to think about nothing big. Stop, get out that mindset. Stop thinking so small. We got a God that's a miracle God. You could easily put something into the atmosphere, put something to the universe, and watch God make a way for it to happen. But some of y'all don't even try. Y'all so fixated on what you see. Stop believing in stop looking at what you see. You can't, this ain't gonna work for you. In the 30 days, I need you to not even think about what you make. I need you to not think about none of that. I need you to just believe and trust in God and have faith. And don't start thinking about how, when, where, and why. Leave that to God. Leave that to God. Just think positive, plant a seed, have faith. Do not over-worry about it. Over-worrying is over-watering it. If you over-worry about it, you're going to prolong it. It'll manifest, but you may not see it in 30 days. So you're going to have something to occupy your time while you wait to see this manifestation happen. And you got to stay hopeful. If you get doubtful, you're going to prolong it. You're going to stifle it. You cannot lose hope. You cannot get doubtful. You got to stand strong in your belief. that this is going to happen, regardless of what the circumstances look like, regardless, because that's what's going to happen. Something as soon as you get to believing and having faith, all of a sudden, some bill out of nowhere going to come. You didn't even know you owed this money to these people. But you sitting here trying to manifest something, and now you got more liabilities than you thought than you ever had. Don't worry about it. That's where the magic happens at. Don't even worry. Double like, share, subscribe if y'all feeling this video. Don't even worry though. That's where the magic is happening at. You keep on with what you know God is going to do for you. That's all I need you to do. Remember, we got a miracle working God. That's what I need you to remember. I don't need you to think about nothing else but that. That you know what, no matter when, where, how, it's going to happen because I believe that I deserve it. Why do I deserve it? Because I'm one of God's chosen. Why am I one of God's chosen? Because God loves me. Why does God love me? Because he created me. Why is God going to give this to me? Because I deserve it. I need you to understand you deserve it. You deserve it. As all the hard work that you've been doing, especially when you put the discipline into watching what you eat, watching, the friends and people you have around you, watching what you say, you deserve it. God is showing you like, wow, you making space for this. I'm telling you, in 30 days, you mark my words, you do the things that I'm telling you. Your choices, your decisions, what you're listening to, your discipline, your trust in your faith. If you got all that stuff under control, will nothing get in your way. God will open a door no man can shut. He says, faith is the evidence of things not hoped for, or things that are hoped for, the things that are not seen. And it says life and death in the power of the tongue. And it also says, lean not into your own understanding. Meaning you're not going to understand how this miracle happened. It's just going to happen. And in this 30 days, if it's a bigger house you want to move into, I don't know what it is that you want to do, but I need you to get the dreaming big. And I need you to start proclaiming. I need you to take action today by putting a seed, setting some sort of seed and allow this thing to grow. And I guarantee you're going to see something grow. Your life is going to change, and you're going to get addicted to manifesting, and you're going to stop working so hard. You're going to start working smarter, and you are not going to chase. You are going to attract this thing. You're going to attract this thing, and you're going to be sought out. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to cut it off right there. I know this video is probably really lengthy. And it's really detailed. I've been very vulnerable. I need y'all to like this video because I'm giving y'all some jewels. I'm keeping it real with y'all. This is going to encourage me to open up some more vaults and open up some more of my stories to teach, to show y'all by example how I made this happen. I got to put this in real life. So y'all want to hear more? I got more stories of things I manifest and more things that I've done. This is only the beginning. And I appreciate y'all for being here. Like, share, subscribe if y'all feeling the vibe. I'll see y'all here again. Peace, blessings, love, and light to all. Bye.